Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how to build the A2L from Bambu Lab. It's the new machine, bigger A1. So I only have this weird looking knife. It's a decorative thing. So we open it up and we're just going to get all the pieces set up and out the box. First of all, we're going to grab the main board and we're going to put the bed plate on to the main frame. So you line it up just like this, and then you're going to have to grab the 4 screws that's labelled heat bed, so it's nice and simple. It may take a little shaking around to get it into place, but then if you move it up and down, you'll see if it's in correctly, just like that. So that's the screws there. There's 4 screws labelled heat bed, and you're just going to insert them in using the big Allen key. There's one smaller one and there's one larger one. So we're going to use the big one, and we're going to put all 4 screws inside. Now that that's done, we're going to move this aside and grab the main frame, and we're going to insert it in at a 45-degree angle, just like this, and just make sure it sits in nice and flush. It takes a little bit of shuggling around, but you'll get it in. And then we're going to remove this access panel just by prying it up slightly and then pulling it out. Once again, a little bit of fiddling around, but you will get it. Once the manhandling is complete, you need to look for the bag that says base housing, and it has 10 screws, and we're going to put each individual one. It's marked in green, can't go wrong, nice and simple. So after you've got those screws in, it's time to oil up the machine for its first use. Just in these grooves you need to put in a little dot on each side, move the bed plate over and do the same. And then that's pretty much it. We can now put back the cover and you'll feel it snap into place. And that's it. Now that you've done that, you just have to put in these 2 clips. They are a little bit fragile and a little bit fiddly, but snap them in, and then you'll grab the cover plate that's also in the box, and it just snaps into place, just like that. Then we're going to grab the USB cable. This is at the back of the machine. We're going to insert it in, and then you've got the 2 integrated cable screws. Screw them in, and that's it secure. It won't pull out and it won't get damaged. You can also remove this little bit of tape, and then all we have to do is remove these brackets that keep the X and Y axis safe during shipping. So we'll move these 2 screws, nice and simple, and then do the same on the other end. You're removing the 2 screws, and that will free up that axis. This part is very important because if you don't do it, it'll obviously break your machine. So yeah, 2 screws, chuck them away, and it takes a little bit of fiddling around, but plastic will come off. And now we're on to the next step. We need to turn around the whole machine, and we're going to get to the purge wiper, which is this little grey bit on the end. And if we grab it out, this is in the box. So you want to move this wire out the way and then clip this in just like that. This part's a lot fiddly. It was a lot more easier on the Bambu A1. So grab the purge wiper screw and insert it in just like that. And then you'll want to connect these 2 little clips just like this. Make sure it's the right way. Once again, they're quite fragile. Be careful. Set them back into place and then return the covering cap and it will snap in. Now we're going to grab the bed plate and insert it on. Just remove the wrapper ring and make sure it's the right way with the cutouts facing towards you. And now we can set up the AMS. Remove the clips just like this. Ideally use scissors, not a pair of pliers. And then we're matching green to green, and the same with the yellow to yellow. Might take a little bit of twisting, don't force it because you might break it. So yeah, yellow to yellow, and then we're going to flip it all the way around. Once we've got this clipped in, and we're going to flip it around, and same again, we're matching the colours, yellow to yellow, chuck it in, twist it around, and once again for the green, we're matching up, and then that's it. Pretty much done. The AMS is very simple. And then once you've got all those in, all we need to do is put the stand on. So just like this, grab the AMS stand screws. We've got 4 to put in. Screw 2 on this side, flip it around, and then put the other 2 in, just like that. You can also now grab the power cable, remove the safety, and insert it into the back. And then for the AMS, you're just grabbing this part of the wire, flipping the machine around and inserting it into the furthest left port. Just make sure you don't force it and the top end with the clip is facing up the way. Then we can turn it back around. And now we can move on to the initial startup. So we're going to press start, English or your preferred language, go to Europe, and well, if you are in Europe, select your Wi-Fi. Oh, just dox myself nicely. Okay, insert your password, go into the Bambu Handy app, go to devices, and then you can add your printer with the plus button at the top. Simply scan the QR code, and then that will bind the printer to this account. And then it will remind you to remove the screws. We've already done this. It will remind you to lubricate the machine. We've done this. And then you need to start the whole calibration. It takes 40 minutes, so just let that do its thing. And now we're going to add the PFT tubes to the AMS. So there's a long side and two short sides. We're going to put the longest side the furthest away. And then as you can see, the other two here are shorter. We're going to put that to the closest part of the machine. And finally, all you need to do now is put the remaining 4 tubes into these black holes, and you're good, ready to go to start printing after the calibration. And that's it. Hopefully enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.